Hello everyone. So I welcome you again in this lecture on B tree. So far we have discussed about MBA trees and we have seen that MBA tree is a special tree where we are allowed to keep m-1 key values at each node and can have m subtrees. The problem we have seen in the MBA tree is that if the keys are in the ascending order, then your structure of the tree can be degenerate and your operations on the this kind of tree will be very costly because the height of tree will be more in that case, and the operations are actually based on the height of the tree. So B tree is one mechanism or one way through which we ensure that the M tree cannot be degenerate into one direction, but it will try to keep the tree balanced. So we'll see more about in the B tree in detail. So let's start. So B tree is obviously an M-way tree, is a specialized M-way tree you can say, which will in which we add some more properties to the M-way tree so that it will try to maintain its balanced structure. B tree is basically a technique where we want to provide a structure in the hard disk so that we can store a data in such a way so that it can be accessed in a fast manner. B-tree is basically indexing technique so that we are able to access the data from the hard disk in a better way. So it is widely used for a disk access. A B tree of order m can have at most m-1 keys and m children. So as we have seen that B tree is actually a specialized M-way trees, and M-way trees we have already discussed that every node of the M-way tree can have m-1 keys at maximum and can have m subtrees or m children. Now one of the reason of B tree of using the B tree is capability of storing a large number of keys in a single node. And by keeping the large key values we are actually uh, ensuring that the height of the tree can be reduced. Okay, now let's talk about the properties of B tree. As we have discussed that B tree is a specialized M-way tree, so all the properties of M-way tree is applicable. Along with it will contain some more properties. So all the properties of M-way trees are applicable. In addition, we have some more properties. Let's see what are they. Every node in the B tree consists of at most m children. So already we have discussed, this is actually the similar property that we have discussed in the M-way trees, where we discussed that every node can have maximum m subtrees. So here we have m child at each node. Every node in the B tree except the root node and the leaf node contain at least m by 2 childrens. Now this is something which is different from the M-way tree, and this makes a specialty in the B tree. So let me read again. Every node in the B tree except the root and the leaf node. Now leaf node, we know that's a special node where we don't have any children. So except the leaf node and the root node contain at least m by 2 child. So every other node must contain at least m by 2 child, and this actually ensures that height cannot be generated to a larger extent. For the root node we have a condition that it must have at least 2 child nodes. That means it must have at least 2 child, and for the leaf node there is no child existing. Now root node can have at least 2 child and can go up to maximum m childs. All leaf node must have at the same level. Now this is also very interesting property, that it will maintain the tree in such a way that all the leaves of this tree will be occurring at the same level. It is not necessarily that all the node contains the same number of child, but each node must have m by 2 number of node. Now in this tree it does not mandatory that all the nodes can contain same number of child. What does it mean? Let's say this is one root node, and then it has some child. This is the child node, a child node. Now this is possible that this contains only two values, and we have three child, and this contain four values and can have five child. So this is possible. But what is mandatory, that all the leaf node, so if you have a leaf here, 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 then all will occurring at the same level. This is mandatory. And what other is mandatory? That every node must contain m by 2 number of child nodes. This is mandatory. So what is m? M is actually defining this order of this tree. So m can be 5 and can be 6. For example, if we talk about m is equals to 6, that means every node must contain 3 child. This is mandatory. So let us see more by using some structure. Okay, so let us look on to the structure to understand a better way. Now B tree of order 4. Order 4 means that every node can have maximum four child. Every node will have maximum three values, and every node must have minimum two child as per the property of the B tree. Okay, so let us look here. This is a root node. Root node must have two child. This already we have seen. And then you can see here every node must have minimum two child, because this order is 4 and we must have m by 2 child, means 4 by 2. That means two child must be compulsory with every node, and a node can have maximum three values. So we have two values are here, now here you can see that we are inserting the values in such a way that it maintains the order property. The left subtrees will have all the values less than this root, and the right subtrees will have the values more than the root. Now, if this is a structure, now if you insert some values to it, there is a possibility that the properties that we have discussed uh, so far may violate it. Now when I say it will violate the property, when I say violate it basically means we have to take care of this m by 2 rule, that every node must maintain m by 2 child. So when we perform some operations on the B tree, we may observe that some of the properties may violate the properties that we have just discussed. In that case, these nodes may split into two or may join and become one, and in order to maintain all the properties of the B tree that we have discussed. So let us take some example in order to have a feel that how these joining and splitting is actually done in the B tree. So let us take a case of inserting. So whenever we do some operation like insertion and deletion, the property may get violated. So insertion will always be done at the leaf node. We know that in the binary search tree, whenever you insert any key value, it will always be inserted as a leaf node. Though we started from the root node, but finally the leaf to be inserted as a leaf node. Now, the following algorithm need to be followed when we insert an item into the B tree. So we will follow the same principle that we have discussed in the binary search tree. We have to traverse the B tree in order to find the appropriate leaf node where the desired node can be inserted. So if you want to insert a node, we start from the root node and we see that the node value, the key value which we are interested to insert is less than the root value or more than the root value. If the key value is more than the root value, we move towards the right subtree. Otherwise, we move to the left subtree, and we keep on doing like this until we reach to the leaf. So we have to traverse the B tree in order to find out the appropriate location or the position where the leaf node or the new node to be inserted. This is the first thing. If the leaf node contains less than m minus 1 keys, we know that every node can contains maximum m minus 1 keys. So if you find, if you reach to the particular node where the key to be inserted and that node contains less than this key, then you simply keep the key at the appropriate position in the same node. So let's say any node can occupy, let's say, 5 keys, and there are only 2 keys are possible, then you are allowed to insert the new key into the same node. But let's say this node has a capacity to hold 5 values, and already 5 values are written here, and then you need to insert a new node, then you are not allowed to insert in this, but you need to do some mechanism so that it will maintain the properties of B trees. Now, so this already we have seen. Else, if the leaf node contains m minus 1 keys, means if you have reached to the leaf and you have identified where the new key to be inserted, but the node is already filled with m minus 1 keys, then we have to do some process. What is that? Insert the new element in the increasing order of the element. So initially we don't care for this m minus 1 number of keys, we simply insert the values as per the requirement. For example, we are assuming that this node allowed to have maximum 5 key values. Let's say the values are 10, 13, 20, 25, 30. Okay, and now we need to insert a value 19, let's say. Okay, and this is, let's say, it's a leaf node of any tree, and we have reached to this node. So what we will do, we will not care about the number of element here, we simply insert this value here, 19 here, 10, 13, 19. So we will insert the new element in its appropriate position, split the node into 2 nodes at the median, and then we will find the median value of these all these element, and from that position we will be splitting the node. For example, if this is a median, then we will be bringing this 20 to the parent, and we will divide this and this into 2 parts. Split the node into 2 nodes at the median, push the median element up to this parent node. So we divide this entire node into 2 parts, and this median value, which makes the basis of division, will move to the parent node. If the parent node also contains m minus 1 number of keys, now there is a possibility that parent already contains 5 keys. Let's say we are assuming as a 5, so already it contains 5 keys. That means if you move this median value to the parent, then the parent will contain 6 values. Now in that case, it will again violate the property, and then you have to again apply the same procedure. You simply insert into the node, and then you will just look at the median and then move to the next parent, means you are going to the grandparent, and will apply the same principle, and you keep on shifting until you find a situation that does not violate the B tree's property. If the parent also contains m minus 1 number of keys, then you have to split it too by following the same steps that we have discussed. So let us take one example to understand in a better way. Okay, so this is one example. So you can see here, this is a tree of order 5. When I say order 5, means it can have maximum 5 child, and it can have 4 key values at any node, not more than 4. Now, so here m is actually order is 5, and when I say m by 2 means every node must have, so we'll take the floor value, which will be 2. So every node must have minimum 2 values. This is mandatory. Now inserting a node 8 into this B tree. So this is a tree given to us. You can see this is already fulfilling the B tree properties. It's ordered, and it will maintain the number of key values at each node. It will maintain the number of requirement of child nodes. Okay, so 8 will be inserted. We have to start from the root, and you can see here, so 8 is less than this, we'll move here 8. So you can see this 8 is less than this 29, so you go to the left subtree, and then it's the left subtree, and then you will find here 8 to be inserted. Now, so here when you insert the 8, so 8 to be inserted in the increasing order, because these are order property must be followed, so you will insert here 8. But we have seen that this is a 5-way tree. That means every node can have maximum 4 key values, but here we have now 1 2 3 4 5 key values are there. That means it is now violating the rule of the B trees, so we have to split it. So if you look at this, this is a median value, so we have to split into two parts. This will become the one part, this becomes the other part, and 8 is going to be moved to the parent. So if you consider the situation, if it is going to move here, that means this is going to become the right child and this is going to become the left child. So you can see here 8 is going to be now here. This is actually the one node. It is split into two part. This is one part and second part, and you can see here that 8 is moved up and this becomes the left child and this becomes the right child, and now it also maintains the B tree properties. And here the parent is now having only 3 key values, so it is not violating the properties. Otherwise, if it is violating, we have to again split and move this element to the corresponding parent. But here now the situation is valid. So this is how we are going to insert any node, and because of insertion, if there is any violation in the properties, we need to fix it by doing the splitting. So here we did the splitting and our case got resolved. Okay, so moving to next. Then deletion. Now deletion is, again we will follow the same principle that we have followed in the binary search tree. Deletion is also performed at the leaf node here. Now when you perform a deletion of a node, the node can be a leaf node or a node can be an internal node. So we need to look into the different cases, that how the things can be handled. So perform a leaf node, and node which to be deleted can either be a leaf node or an internal node. If it is a leaf node, you can be directly deleting it, but if it is an internal node, you need to check that the cases are conditions are violated or not. Similarly, in the leaf node also, you need to check that while deleting any value, any key value, the B tree minimum requirement, that is m by 2 child, must be maintained. So let's have a look here. The very first thing is you need to identify which node we need to identify that in which node your key value is existing. So we will follow the same principle. We start from the root, we compare the key values from the root values which is actually existing at the root, and then we will decide that we have to move toward the left subtree or the right subtree. So the very first task is you have to locate the leaf node which contains your key value. If there are more than m by 2 keys in the leaf node, then delete the desired key. So already we have discussed that every uh, node must maintain this condition. So already if there are more than m by 2 keys in the leaf node, then you can simply delete the desired key and nothing can be violated and everything is okay. But if the leaf node does not contain m by 2 keys, this is mandatory, because if it does not contain m by 2 keys, and deleting the key will make less than m by 2 keys, which is actually a condition said to be violated. So we need to do some extra task. What is required? Then complete the keys by taking the element from the right or left sibling. So if any of the node which already contains exactly m by 2 keys, and if you are deleting some more keys from that node, that means it will not maintain this m by 2 property. In that case, you need to look to the left sibling or right sibling, and you have to pick one key values and keep it in the node. For example, this is a node which has to maintain minimum 3 key values, let's say x1, x2 and x3. Okay, and then we have, let's say this is z1, z2, z3, z4. This is y1, y2, y3, y4. Now, and we are assuming that every node must have minimum 3 key values. Now let's say you are deleting x2. Now when you delete x2, that means this node does not maintain the minimum key values. So what is required? Either you have to pick one values from the right subtree and keep it here, or you can pick the maximum value from the left subtree and keep it here. These are the two possibilities that we have to do to maintain this property. Okay, so if the left sibling contains more than m by 2 elements, again when we are saying that we will pick the values from here, you have to make sure that before you delete any element, before you shift any element, this node does not violate the property. Means it must contain the minimum requirement. Let's say this node is also containing only three values, z1, z2, z3, and if you pick any key values and shift it here, then this will again having less than three values. So this is not actually allowed. So whenever you are shifting any key values from the siblings, from the left or right sibling, you need to make sure that this is having a sufficient number of keys and is in a position to provide one key to the sibling in order to maintain its property. Okay, so if the left sibling contains more element, you will be taking the element from the left, otherwise you will take it from the right. Okay, if neither of the sibling contains more than m by 2 elements, so let's say this is containing 3, this contains 3, this contains 3 key values, that means this is also having exactly 3, and they are not in a position to provide any key to its neighbor to complete its minimum requirement. So in that case, if you are deleting this x2, that means it left with 2, and neither of the siblings, the right sibling and the left sibling, is in a position to provide one key value to make its minimum requirement, that is 3 key. So in that case, what is required? We need to do some task. Let's see here. So if neither of the sibling contains more than m by 2 elements, then create a new leaf node by joining the two leaf node at the intervening element of the parent node. So in that case, based on the value from the parent, we need to join these two leaf to satisfy the requirement. Either we are going to join this, or we are going to join this. If the parent is left with less than m by 2 nodes, apply the process on the parents too. Now what is actually meant here in the previous step? It says that if this is a situation where none of the siblings is in a position to share any key values to make it minimum requirement, then what it will do, it will from the parent, so from the parent node, it will simply drop one key values and combine this entire into one node. What is required? You will bring this key values which actually segregate these two nodes. You bring this down and combine this into one. This is one possibility. But again, if the parent itself is containing the minimum number of keys and it's not in a position to provide a key to allow them to join, then it has to again apply to its own parent. So this is keep on moving in such a fashion that it will acquire help from the parent, and if this is not going to balance, it will acquire help from the parents. If the node which is to be deleted is an internal node, then replace the node with its in order successor or predecessor. Now already we have discussed that whenever any node to be deleted which is having a two child, the left child and the right child, then we have to look to the in order successor or the in order predecessor to handle this deletion. So here also the same thing we are going to follow as we have discussed in the binary search tree deletion. Since the successor or predecessor will always be on the leaf node, hence the process will be similar as the node is being deleted from the leaf node. So already we know that whenever we are deleting any internal node from the binary search tree, we need to look to the successor or predecessor, and the successor means the next largest the next largest value to the node which you are deleting, to the key which you are deleting, and the predecessor means the next previous value which you are deleting, and definitely these values are the values occurring at the leaf node. So we already discussed that how to delete element from the leaf node. So deleting the key values from the internal node is actually converted to the case where we are deleting a key value from the leaf. So let us take one example to understand this scenario in a better way. So this is one example where we are deleting key values. So here you can see that this is the B tree is given to us, which is actually perfect. This is one value. The root is allowed to have one values with two childs, and this is order 5. So m is equals to 5 here. So this is all about the B trees, and I believe that now you have understood what is MBA trees and how we can move to B trees. We have find some drawbacks in the MBA trees, and these drawbacks are actually get rectified using a B tree. So this is all for this lecture, and thank you very much.